let's just get right down to it. We're going to be doing 3 recipes today, right?
Yes, feeling a little aggressive.
Well, you know, I think it's fun because people like to stay tuned and watch the show, and so to give them 3 things that they can learn, I think it's great.
Plus, I wanted to give 3 great options for the summer, especially if you don't want to turn on the oven, you want to go outside and do some grilling, you have that option. Or
then you could jump in the pool.
You can jump in
to
the
get
pool.
cooled off.
Don't forget to get back out, make sure you're not burning anything, and then back in you go.
All right, what are we starting with first?
We're going to start today with a chipotle rubbed beef kebab.
Okay,
so we could say kebab, we could say skewer, we could say satay. It depends on where you are in the world, but at the end of the day, it's food on a stick.
Okay.
Okay. So what I did was I created a rub first for my beef, which is right here in this dish, and I've been letting this sit rubbed in a dry rub for about half an hour, okay? Now, the difference between a dry rub and a marinade is that a marinade is going to have some kind of liquid in it. And that's going to be especially important depending on the type of protein that you're going to be skewering and therefore grilling. Because if it has a liquid in it, a lot of times it's going to have some acid, so that'll break down some of the tougher fibers of your meat. But in this case, I'm using top sirloin. And top sirloin is great to use for a kebab. It's fairly inexpensive at the market, plus it grills off very nicely and quickly, and it's really great whether it's medium or medium.
What kind of seasonings do you have?
So what I have in here, you should smell that.
Oh, I can smell
really
it from
good.
here.
Oh, okay. Well, and you could ask Stephanie. I always make her touch and smell everything. A little bit of cumin, a little bit of chipotle powder, okay, and then a little bit of salt, some lime juice. That's it. So very, very lean.
And just let it sit out outside of the refrigerator
for
or in
30
the
minutes, or you can marinate it up to 4 hours in your refrigerator.
Okay.
Okay, or let it sit rubbed. With this, we're going to skewer this with some red onions, so we'll have a little color on our kebab. But then also I wanted to serve it with something. So I started making a tomatillo and poblano salsa. So that's what I started in this bowl. So the poblano is right here. When you dry this pepper, it's called a pasilla, except sometimes in the market they'll just call it a pasilla, so I don't want anyone to be confused by that. So this is a poblano. This is somewhere in heat between an Anaheim and a jalapeno, so it's not too hot.
Okay, good.
Okay, so yes, I decided not to
torture me today.
Exactly. Just who
because
I am.
I've decided, you know what I've decided? Starting right here, right now, that I'm going to try everything.
Well,
because there's things that I didn't like, and I tried it, and I liked it. So if I want my kids to try everything, then I need to try everything. So I'm ready.
Well, it's like my father would always say, you have to try something a few times before you know if you don't like it or not. And
That's
it's
true.
Any variety or combination of flavors, okay? Also in here, we have some cilantro right here. And I got to be honest, I'm not a big cilantro fan, but in this dish, it absolutely works. You just don't want to go overboard. Also known as Chinese or Mexican parsley. You want to make sure you're buying this at the store if your recipe calls for it. If you don't like cilantro, replace it with some flat leaf parsley. Okay. And you still get the same result.
So for the sake of timing for this recipe, all we did is, and it'll be online, but we're just cutting this into...
Yes, but here's the star of the show, right? This is, for this particular segment, this is the tomatillo. This is otherwise known as a green tomato, I guess you
So when
could
they say fried green tomatoes?
You're looking at green tomatoes that are underripe, or you're looking at a tomatillo.
Okay.
So you'll find this at the grocery store very easy. I just pulled the hull off just now, and then all we need to do is just give it a little bit of a chop.
Do people eat it raw?
We will. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me try a little taste of that.
Okay.
What can I expect?
There you go.
Tomato-ish?
Yeah, it won't be hot or anything like that. It's just going to have a little bite to it.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, and she likes it. Yay. Okay, so good. And then
it almost tastes like an apple.
Wow.
No?
That's
the
cool.
only one?
Well, you know why? Because it's crisp like an apple.
Taste this.
Okay.
I'm going to have my photographer taste it too, just so I can see if I'm the only one.
And then what we do is just combine it all together here, and we're going to serve this. And so as far as getting this going so we can get it onto the grill, is I'm just going to put...
Do you need to wet these? I always heard you need to wet the skewers.
If you're putting it onto a live flame, yes.
Got it.
But because I'm using a grill pan today, I'm not as worried about that. And then here's my meat. And then the key when you're skewering, okay, don't just push everything together, okay? You want to leave a little bit of a space in between, because if you don't, then you run the risk of parts of your kebab not cooking all the way. So notice I'm just not jamming everything onto the skewer.
Okay, you're going to do that.
I'm going to get this started right over here.
And you're just going to put it on there, and then we'll come back to that, okay?
And then we're going to come back to that, and we're going to start up number 2.
Okay, and what are we cooking when we come back?
Next, we're doing a lovely sage pork with a sage pecan pesto.
Yummy. And Brendan, I just need a... Did it taste like an apple to you?
It does.
You're just saying that.
No, it really
and you had
does.
some sweetness to it. See, you learn something new every day.
Well, it's because we're so sweet, that's all.
That's what it is.